Pioneer.
Yo, what's going on guys? EJ here, bringing another Lord of the Rings Rights of War video. Today guys, we're going to be talking about which relics we should be unlocking on which commanders first. Some of these will be pretty straightforward, a couple of new ones in that as well. We won't muck around, we'll get straight into it, so let's go, shall we? So let's go to my commanders list. This is going to be for the good side, because I mostly play good side and I don't want to give too much information out on the evil side and like give a false reading on it. So we're going to go over the good commanders today. There'll be quite a few just here already on the screen because that's just the way I've been using commanders and stuff. But we'll scroll through and go through all of them. So I guess we'll just start off with Dain right now. I do own his relic, so we can have a look at that really well. Now Dain is one of the really good ones for the damage dealers. He'd be highly recommended if you got him as one of your damage dealers to get it. I would recommend that you get Gimli's first though if you do have Gimli's, which we'll talk about in a moment. But Dain is pretty up there when it comes to damage dealers to get his relic. So he has the Crimson Blade, which is his big axe here. Now the buffs are pretty good. They're not that good. I didn't get the best ones here, as you can see. I got a little bit of extra commander attack, commander defense. The best ones to get here is the HP and attack, of course. Unit attack is pretty useless. The defenses are decent, but the really good one is Relentless Vigor here. So increases the physical damage dealt by this commander by, it starts at 1%, and then each time you refine it up, it goes up by like 0.5. And the big thing is this stacks up to 5 times. So this is really going to help with your really good physical damaging attack gear. Do a lot of extra damage, but it's not really good like compared to like Gimli's, which we'll talk about Gimli next straight away, shall we? So yeah, that's pretty much Dain. I recommend getting his if you have really good respect. So for example, if you had like say a respect like 15 or something Dain, and a respect 10 Gimli, I'd probably go for Dain's first and then get Gimli's. But if you've got roughly around the same kind of levels in that, Gimli's is really good, just because Dain has better, like when it comes to actual skills and such, he can do a lot more damage in that aspect. But Gimli is really good because his one, of course, if we go down here, I only just unlocked this season. I've been using it a tiny bit. We've got Balin's axe, of course. I think I got a lot of really good stats here, so I got really lucky here. I got 2 on the commander attack, so we're getting plus 12. And we got some extra HP as well, which was really good. So that really helped a lot. But of course, with Durin's focus, when the attack reaches 50, it's going to increase damage dealt by 1%. When it reaches 100, the damage dealt will be increased by 1%. And as you can see, I'm completely unrefined. This will go up. And then focus reaches 50, it gains Keen Eye. Now with the skilling, as you can see already, I already have him at level 40 at 56, so he already has enough focus without even any gear on. So you can easily gear him up for full attack gear. Like for example, I gear swap with my, like between my Dain and my Bjorn and stuff like that, and use that gear on him. And you don't need to like put any pipes or anything to try and make up for the focus anymore because of the skill point adjustment, so it's really good. Alright, the next one, Gandalf the White. He would probably be my first pick when going and getting commanders to get his relics first, because it's absolutely fantastic. I think it might have been the first relic I ever got, to be honest, or maybe a Isildur, but as you can see, his Ring of Fire here is fantastic. Now, it's really good because you can get command, which works really good with him. The focus buff as well is really good, but the unit attack and defense, everything can work really good with him. But the red ring, as you can see, I've got refined a couple of levels here. After the commander launches normal attacks, deals 30% physical damage once and 30% focus damage once. This also reduces the formation's damage received by 3% when the enemy army includes orcs. You don't get that much because not a lot of people run orcs these days, but it is a good little incentive there as well. But the red ring is one of the better skills when it comes to on the relics. Really good. But yeah, if you can get those buffs of command and focus, it's really going to help a lot. As you can see, I don't have the highest command here because I'm not using a lot of command gear, but I have really high focus here at 308. Speaking of, we just spoke about him before. We'll talk about Isildur. Now, Isildur's is one of the absolute best as well. You need to have him really good geared and skilled. For example, exactly how I've got him geared for unit defense. And he works really good with Swan Knights. Highly recommend using him if you're playing Gondor a lot, or in NRP as well. You have the ability to use him a lot. If you can get the command buff or the unit attack and defense, you're doing fantastic. As you can see, I got 3 extra on the defense and a bit of command. 569 command here, absolutely fantastic. Sun and Moon Splendor is excellent, so I've got some refinement here, which gives me a 20% chance for the target to succumb to madness after each normal attack. So that's basically every round, which is fantastic. When your formation is full of men only, which you usually only just use men a lot when using him, and then it lasts 1 round and has a 33% chance to dispel a buff from your target when the army is mixed between man and elf. So if you're using him with like a build with some damage dealers and guild with some evade and that, it can work fantastically as well in that aspect. But really good. Narsil is a really good relic. We will give honorable mentions to Gandalf the Grey. I would recommend getting it if you don't have Gandalf the White and he's your main damage reduction commander. Just because it's the same kind of stats, but the Leader of the Folk is really good because it does do some really good damage reduction as well. That's going to work really good with the White Council as well, but it only works just for him. But that's an honorable mention. Now the next one, some people may agree or not agree on this one. I highly recommend Guild. The reason why, it's not really to do too much with the Bless of the High King. It's more to do with if you get lucky and get command. As you can see, I have a plus 90 command. It's really going to help, as well as the unit attack or defense, depending on which way you're going to be building him. Blessing of the High King, you don't really use man units pretty much. As you can see, that's just going to give a better damage dealt extra. But if you got elf units presence, you will be able to do a tiny bit of healing. It doesn't really come into play that much, but the big one for it is because the command and the other stat buffs are really good. Even the base ones are like 34, 6, and 6. Really help him a lot, because that command can help a lot when it comes to damage reduction. If using him as a tank or even as a damage dealer, he does really well. Alright, one of the new ones, guys, we're going to be talking about here is Legolas. Now, Legolas is really fantastic now because of his skilling. He now has, so he has the 3 damaging skills now of Greenleaf, the Fair, and Dwarf Friend. It's really good. But the other thing as well, his relic is fantastic now. Not only because of the Bow of Galadriel has pretty good buff stats for him, but Mirkwood Dexterity is fantastic because the commander's normal attacks inflict an additional 20.8% physical damage. If you can get this and get some refinement in it, it's really going to help do a lot of extra damage, because the normal attacks are going to hit every single round, and you're doing extra physical damage as well, along with his physical damaging skills. It's all going to add up and work out very nicely. The next one is Falgin. He is absolutely fantastic. I'm waiting Ascension on him. He is the next person that I will be getting the relic for without an absolute doubt. The Hardy Buckler here is fantastic. So you want to be building him as a unit defensive build with command now. So the same kind of gear that you've seen on my Isildur before, you want to be using, and you'll be really good, getting his command up into the high 400s. And with that, the Adventure's Determination comes to effect. So as you can see, this will reduce damage received by the formation's melee units by 1%. And increases damage dealt to the formation range units by 1%. This is without refinement, and the above effects gain a 1% for each allied dwarf unit present, stacks up to 3 times. So this can work fantastically with a full dwarf build, which I'm going to be doing testing out in this season soon. I'll be doing a video on that. I will be using him. Unfortunately, I don't have this at the moment, but he's still really good without it. But a really good relic, and I've seen quite a few people who have unlocked it already after these changes. Really good. Alright, the next one we're going to talk about down here as we scroll is King Aragorn. Always a really good damage dealer on that, and all like good all-rounder and stuff like that, but really good damage dealer. The Crown of Elendil is fantastic because the Gimli inspiration is great, because upon dealing damage has a 50% chance to increase damage dealt by this formation's man by 0.5 until the end of battle, and it does stack up to 20 times. So in a formation with a couple of really good damage dealers, like one of your Gandalf for damage reduction, and using a full man unit build can really stack up and do some extra damage. So really good there with King Aragorn's. The last one I'm going to talk about today, you can see there's still quite a few commanders here that you could use, but I wouldn't go wasting all of your tickets and stuff like that and unlocking any of the other ones. The last one that we're going to talk about today is Galadriel. Absolutely really good commander, like one of the only real like decent madness and focus dealers in the game on the good side, and her relic is great. So you got the Ring of Water here, the white ring. So each round for the first 2 instances of focus damage dealt, Galadriel will gain follow-up healing and restores 20% HP to the commander's formation. So this can be very useful when doing like builds where you want to go more on a healing kind of route. So it's pretty good. And in saying that, like if you do have Galadriel, it's a good pickup for her. But rightio guys, we're going to wrap up the video there. There's a few other people that you could honorable mention. I will give one last honorable mention, and that would be to eomer, because once you do get his relic, it really does help him a lot, and he can be quite a decent damage dealer. The wind is quite decent, as you can see. Like the next instance of damage dealt by eomer is increased by 5%. And when you get initiative for 50 mounted units in eomer's formation, prioritize attacks on ranged units. So he's really good against range in that there with the 5 foot's range. But anyway guys, we're going to wrap up the video there. And until next time, peace out, EJ's out, and I'll catch you guys later. See yous.
Thousands of the EJU.